So if you didn't see my last video, you might not understand this. This is regarding what happened to me 12 years ago and a DCFS kid that a chief nursing officer emotionally abused. There's a piece here I didn't tell people. Not that I was trying to, it's just, there's more to this, okay? In regards to Illinois Nurses Association, which is the union, this chief nursing officer, and what they did to this kid. So here's how I eventually became, I came back up, and this was in 2020. So it's like when everybody was waking up to stuff, it was suddenly like, wait a minute, because when I started looking into Bill Ayers, who was Obama's friend, he was a professor and he's a dirtbag, but he was a domestic terrorist. He's retired from University of Illinois, Chicago. So I said how University of Illinois, Chicago was oversight over DCFS wards and psych hospitals. And the chief nursing officer that abused that 15-year-old kid, she was doing it to make the case because I had rescinded the resignation. And it's because American Nurses, or Illinois Nurses Association, which is, it's tied to American Nurses Association, but because they told me to rescind it and they would fight it. Well, that was stupid. Because then that's what led to the kid being pulled in the office and emotionally abused. Because then they had to make the case. But here's what's really, there's more to it, okay? And I don't know quite what. I just think it's some political thing. And I was used as a total pawn, and so was this kid. Is that when we went to the federal level to fight this hospital, you know, I had the union lawyer with me. And so he never once, because we had to try to make the case, or he did, that I was being targeted for being on a bargaining team. Well, I lost. But here's the thing, because at the federal level, they said I wasn't wearing my union pin enough. Yeah, because you'd have to wear your union pin enough times for it to aggravate the hospital. And their hospitals will do this. They'll target you. But this was a major targeting, okay? Because what bothered me is that this lawyer never wanted to, I told him, I'm like, look, the kid wrote everything down that happened to him. The social worker called me. I know it from people on the unit. Like, I'm like, so how is this not targeting? Why didn't he use this at the federal level? Do you understand what I'm saying? He didn't. He was instead telling them how many times a day I was wearing my lanyard with Illinois INA on it. Was I wearing my union pin? Because that was going to help at the federal level determine if I was being targeted. Then why wouldn't he tell them about what they did to that kid? That proves all of the targeting. He didn't want to prove it. Because he would have used that, right? But he knew who this nurse was. Yeah, my lawyer from Illinois Nurses Association knew who this nurse was. He absolutely did. He had to have. Because Illinois Nurses Association's biggest contract, the one they love to post up as their poster child, is at University of Illinois, Chicago, where that chief nursing officer, prior to coming to me, was a forensic nurse and was in the psychiatric department and one of the overseers of kids in the psych hospitals. Because UIC psych department is over the kids in the DCFS system that are in the psych hospital. There's no way they didn't know who she was. That's their biggest contract. That hospital is the one that Illinois Nurses Association uses to bring nurses in to why you want a union. They knew who she was. They have the best contract in Illinois. There's no way they didn't know who she was. But they didn't want to mention that. They didn't bring it up, which would have totally proved, not just that, this was criminal activity that went on. And he didn't want to say, he didn't even want to, he would deflect every time I bring it up. It was almost like he was uncomfortable when I would say, what about this kid? They emotionally abused this kid. And then everybody around me is just like, you know, why do you keep fighting it? It's like, because at every level I was done wrong. And for what? I mean, here's the thing, like, you let these people get away with this stuff. Okay, and for years I did. I thought, okay, well, I guess everybody else is right, even though in the back of my head, I know, no, this shouldn't have happened to me. There should be justice for this. I gave this kid hope, okay? I did. I gave all these kids hope. I ran a good unit because I'm a good nurse. And I have felt horrible because I gave this 15-year-old kid hope because he wanted to get sober. He did, and he did so well at the 28-day program. And then DCFS, they all went out of their way to put that kid back in his drug den residential. And then he went on to be in and out of prisons, at least when he was younger. I mean, that's a long time ago. I don't know now. And there's that part of me that feels bad because I gave him hope, because I told him, no, you can take this horrible time, all of this. I would tell all these kids that, because these kids they know the system's corrupt. They know the system's screwing them over. So I would say, no, we can't do anything about them. I don't know what's going on there, but you can use this moment to make you stronger, and you can triumph from this, and you can become exactly what they don't want you to become. You can become successful and stick it to all the motherfuckers. Sorry. And I guess I just feel bad because it's like I feel bad because I gave that kid hope, and then because I told him, I said, it doesn't have to be this way. Just because all these people that are higher educated and they put these staff in these residentials and they ridiculed you and they put you down and they wanted you to drink, and I don't even want to tell half the stories I know about with these kids, what they tell me or what they did back then. But all I did want to do was tell them, no, there's hope. This can be a different outcome. And then what did that chief nursing officer, who went on to have her big career in her life, the scumbag she is, she should head up Magnet of Nursing, or really just the American Nurses Association in general. This is why they blocked me, okay? They know they did me wrong, okay? Because Illinois Nurses Association stems from American Nurses Association. And all of them know they screwed me over. And I think there's some other people that know what went down too, and they've all kept their mouths shut. But I'll tell you one thing. You keep knocking somebody down over and over again because I lost trying to get the kid help. No alderman, no politician, no paper wanted to call me back. Even the reporter I did talk to, because of the former chief nursing officer getting Chicago Tribune involved. Yeah, I still don't trust her at this point, and I used to love her. But, you know, they were both these chief nursing officers were former Navy nurses. There's just something way more to it. But here's the thing. Yes, she knew I was calling the papers. She knew that I was reaching out to like these different advocacy groups, telling what happened to this kid. And it was like, she then calls me one day and says, oh, I talked to this reporter, she's going to be calling you. Well, that put me thinking, oh, good, then I'll finally get this out there. Well, yeah, you know what that did by her doing that, because it was just all of a sudden she knew somebody who knew somebody. And this woman still is posting about how much she cares about DCFS kids. Damn woman. I sat on the phone with her. I know I talked about this before, but all of them are dirty. I told her for 30 minutes everything that happened. Then a year later, when the 7-day spread that Chicago Tribune ran, every day they put on the front page about DCFS and all the horrors. My story was never mentioned in there, but it never was going to be, because the head of the Chicago Tribune sat on the board of that hospital. So Illinois Nurses Association, that chief nursing officer, Chicago Tribune, that report, all of them protected each other. They all wanted to protect the most scummiest people, which means they're scummy, because they didn't care about a 15-year-old kid, and they certainly didn't care what they did to me. Because why didn't the Illinois Nurses Association ever bring it up at the federal level? Because they were protecting that nurse, that scumbag. So you know what? You can knock people down over and over again, but damn, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. And I'm not saying that in a threatening way. What I'm saying is that it ends up making people get stronger, especially if they don't lose their heart in the process. And I haven't lost my heart. Be a damn mistake to underestimate me.